So this tutorial is going to be a coloured acrylic ombre. The coloured acrylics are really pigmented, so you've got to be really careful. I'm going to do this on a tip just so that it's a little bit easier, and I've got more surface area. I've picked up a medium bead, quite wet. I've applied it just like we would a pink and white ombre. Again, using the tip of that brush to ombre and start to melt the acrylic into the start of the bead. I've picked up quite a large full coverage acrylic bead, and I'm just lightly dragging that over the top. Ombreing coloured acrylic is pretty difficult. I suggest that you start off with the white, get really good at that before you start blending the colours. You'll see I had a little bit of difficulty when it came to the blue. I'm just going back in with a really small bead of purple, just to intensify the tip a little bit. And then while the acrylic is wet, I'm going in with some purple glitter. All the glitters that I use are from Glitterella. Really nice glitters, and they've got loads of choice. I've decided I'm going to do three different colours as well. I'm going in with a clear bead and I am encapsulating. This, again, just like the pink and white, is going to just protect that blended area and allow us to file. You need to remember that the coloured acrylic is not used for structure, it is used there for colour. So build up your apex, build up your strength using the clear with the opaque pink just to guide you. I messed up a little bit on the blue. You'll see I didn't clean my brush properly. Same process, medium bead, slightly on the wet side. Applied that to the tip, what would be kind of zone 1. And then I've just melted that acrylic just up toward the middle of zone 2 and zone 3. The same opaque pink, and you'll see where I haven't cleaned my brush. I pull down and you can see that blue smudge. There you go, there it is in that pink. It is fixable, it's quite difficult. I strongly suggest cleaning your paper towel underneath, making sure that it's nice and clean, so you're not going to pick up any colour. Again, the coloured acrylics are super pigmented, so you've got to be careful. But when in doubt, remember, chuck a bit of glitter on the top and all is good. So I'm just blending down using the barrel of the brush, the belly of the brush, just to ensure that I get a really nice blend eventually. Again, in with the glitter, a bit of blue glitter this time. I'm taking that predominantly on the tip, and then I'm just feathering that out just to make it look sort of like an ombre glitter as well over the top of that. The coloured acrylic underneath is going to act like the base colour, so it'll really shine through that glitter. Again, I'm encapsulating. I managed on this tip to actually build up quite a nice apex using the pink, so I literally use the clear to add a little bit of structure to the end of the nail, or zone 1, but then actually go in and just use that as a sealer bead. Going in with the pink, it's super bright, this pink, so I've just applied that again in exactly the same way. You can totally play around with your coloured acrylics. You'll find that some of them will ombre a lot easier than others. I like ombre pastel colours, and if you wanted to kind of use these base colours, so the brighter colours, just mix them down with a little bit of white, just to kind of alter the shade. That gives a really nice effect, and I think as you're stepping into acrylic, coloured acrylic work, sometimes it's better to start off with the pastel shades. Gives you a little bit more time to kind of get used to it and really perfect your application. I'm going in again with that opaque bead, and I am just dragging that over the top of the pink and adding glitter to finish. I'm going to also encapsulate this this blend too, and just make sure that we're kind of, making sure everything is sealed, side wall to side wall. Little trick as well when you're working with coloured acrylic, so when you're encapsulating in any way, the wetter the clear bead, the clearer the design's going to be. So you've got, the wetter the bead is, the less chance you've got of any air bubbles being present in that acrylic. Making sure that we cover everything. I had a little bit of an accident, which you will see in a little while, so making sure lids are on everything, especially before we file. We're moving on to filing now, and you absolutely want to make sure your pots are covered. I've moved the monomer away. Again, that is literally just to ensure that no dusting particles end up in your monomer or your polymers. Obviously you want to avoid the contamination there. Really important, just get into the habit of doing that. I filed over the top of this design, made it into the shape that I want, and I'm using a buffer just to buff over the top to get rid of any scratches in that nail. I do the exact same process with all three colours. You're talking quite an expensive set, this one. If you were to do this on a client, you're looking, I would probably charge upward of £35 to £40 for this set. Really important that people are paying for, they're paying for your skill, so don't undersell yourself. It's really, really important. Think of the year that you've put in, you know, to learning this trade, learning the skills, practicing all the time. Make sure you're charging appropriately for that. I'm going over the top with some glaze gel. This is the Halo, I believe. It's the non-white Halo gel. Top coat, it's kind of my go-to. Although I do like the Glaze and Go. I want to say that's by NSI. That's really nice. Really not good on the natural nail though, because it cracks. So only on acrylics. I'm going over a nice thick coat over all three colours. And the pink finally as well. Coming up now, you'll see what happened, and this is because I rush all the time. I'm not organised, as we know, and then the inevitable happened, and I lost a load of glitter on the table because I wasn't careful. So please make sure your lids are on. It looks quite pretty though, to be fair. And then this is the final design. So the final design, they're quite nice. Do I show you a close-up? Yes, I do. There we go. I do quite like them. I won't do them on myself just because it'll take far too long. But I encourage you to practice. I encourage you to have a go. If it goes wrong, it doesn't matter. And let me see your designs finally. Anything you want to ask, please drop me a comment below. See you soon.